Hello everyone, this is Dion Sol. I hope everyone is doing well. And as you see, as this thing is doing its pan thing, is the Kitfox, the air in Lake Tahoe, California. The Kitfox is made by Big Tire Productions. This is. Ooh, I just noticed that the tire isn't off the ground. It's not really on the ground. Anyway, this aircraft is going to do a review of the aircraft. It's available, at least it was as of September 11th, yesterday. It was available for $8.99, so we'll just round it up to $9. And is this worth your $9? The short answer, TDLR, is yeah, it's worth your $9 if you want to have a Kitfox. If you don't want to have a Kitfox, or if you don't care about having a Kitfox in its current version, then no, you don't waste your money, but then you run the risk of the developer actually putting more things that we're going to discuss here in this video, then they'll raise the price. So whereas me getting it now, maybe, of course, this is total theory on my part, that they will update it, and then I'll get the updates, and then I'll actually get a more robust airplane later on. So as you can tell at the start of this review, the airplane, it has deficiencies and that sort of thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the airplane. The first and foremost thing that you see here is we've got two touchscreens, and as opposed to one that is in a normal Kitfox that I have seen, which is fine, not a big deal. Hey, if the airplane can support two 10-inch or 8-inch screens, then whatever. I'm not really tripping on that. And our as you can see when we're looking around, the fit and finish of it is pretty weak, to be frankly blunt and honest with you guys. The airplane is I would say that this right here is freeware quality. In some areas it's better than freeware quality. In other areas it's not very good. I mean, you can see by looking at the right here. Normally we would have gauges or a tank gauge or something like that would indicate how much fuel is in the tank, or right here in this opening. And you can see how this is not flushed around, and I'm sitting here pointing with my mouse, and I don't have my mouse activated here, so let me fix that real quick while I'm stalling for time here. Okay, now my mouse is here, and you can see right there how this right here is not flushed out. It's not. I wouldn't expect it to be perfectly round, but I would expect it to be in better condition than it is. The doors do not open and close. The pedals, the rudder pedals, they work fine. You just don't have the animation of the toe brakes. We do not have toe brake animation, but as far as the braking system itself, everything works just like it's supposed to. This is why I'm saying, yeah, if you want the Kitfox, then yes, it's worth it, kind of mindset. If you wanted a study level airplane and you wanted this to be very robust airplanes, or at least as good as the out of the box FS2020 airplanes, then yes, you're going to be disappointed, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Just the developer. I think what the developer did is, if you go over to the xplane.org store over at xplane.org, you will find this same airplane is available, or a facsimile thereof available over at in their shop for $32. It does come with the Trent Palmer livery, which is the Freedom Fox. It's nice. It looks nice and all, but like I said, this airplane is definitely not finished, and it definitely needs a lot of work. I'm thinking that BT Productions, or Big Tire Productions, just wanted to get their airplane on the Microsoft Store, just to get the exposure. And if that's what they did, then that's fine. And they offered it for $8 or $9, rounded up to $9. That's fine. It's if you just want another bush plane, it's available to you. It's kind of meh, That's really how you can describe this airplane. It's just meh, because You know, it's just I wouldn't even say it's a cut above, you know, freeware, because there's plenty of freeware out there that's nowadays is looking pretty damn good. You know, in some cases they're, you know, like with the Airbus A320, that they're trying to do the same thing like they did with the Zibo and make that a study level Airbus, and so there's a team of people doing that. You know, those kind of efforts are afoot. So one thing that we will notice right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and start this up, but this is going to be a very complicated procedure, and I'll have to do a jump cut. But I'm doing it this way on purpose to show you. When you turn everything on to get everything to take off, the airplane does not start. And it's suffering from the same problem that QPilot had with the Coronado 172, or I'm sorry, 182T. It just doesn't start. You can sit here and go like this right now. I'm trying to start the airplane, and it will not start in a cold and dark state. So what you have to do is you have to actually start it on the on-ramp, or on the runway with everything on, and then after that point, if you get into the sim in that phase of flight, then ready to takeoff mode, then the airplane will run just fine, and you can go to a ramp, and you can get out the ramp and then get back in and start the airplane. Everything is just going to work fine. But for some reason, this is the second Payware aircraft. Now, I did not buy the Cessna 182T because I watched QPilot's video regarding it. So I elected not to buy it because I just don't want the drama. And here I bought this airplane, you know, because it was $8 mainly, or $9 really, is the reason why I bought the airplane. And I do like a Kitfox. I mean, the small little airplanes are kind of cool to go play with. Here it is Saturday, and tomorrow's Sunday, so we can all just go play. So, you know, that's why I went ahead and went for it. And again, I'm going in with the mindset that eventually this developer will get enough noise from the customers who bought this, and will actually make this airplane better, you know, over time. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays, how that side of things is really going to work. So that's one of the big major issues. You cannot start this airplane in a cold and dark state. It's just not happening. The second big thing is, if you notice, when you look out the window here, you see everything is all fuzzy. And at least to me anyway, everything is fuzzy. It's just not, you can make it out. I mean, you can see right there, you can see that building, you can see the air conditioners, you can see, you know, the windows and that sort of thing, and that building off in the distance. But you don't, it's not crisp, it's not clean, it's not really, it's like it's being diffused. And that's what's wrong with this airplane, is that when you look out, when all this glass, the way this glass is set up, is that everything just looks soft and diffused. Now, obviously, when you go outside, now everything is nice and sharp and rich and not a problem. So, and I noticed, and so then what I did is, after seeing that, I went ahead and loaded up my the X-Craft, or the Cub Crafters, the X Cub, and just to see if I was getting the same effect. And no, it's crystal clear and clean, and there's no issues with the Cub. So that's just telling me that the developer, whatever materials he used to create the glass, made it so it diffused diffused your view. And that's really going to be a turnoff, because when you're, for a long period of time, when you're sitting in this airplane and you're flying to a destination, if you choose to do that kind of a flight with this aircraft, it's going to get hard on your eyes. I mean, realistically, if you think about it, you're up there at 8,000 feet or 6,000 feet or 4,000 feet, and you're doing a 200 nautical mile flight or 150 nautical mile flight. That's gonna wear you down pretty quickly. You're gonna say, "F this! I know this is stupid," and so something like that needs to be addressed as well. So that's pretty much all the big points in this whole airplane. Or the rest of it, as far as, when you look, like I said before, when you look outside, airplane looks good. It looks like no problem. Excuse me, I'm burping here. It looks fine. It does not allow you to put in your own tail number. That's one thing. I put in my own tail number on here, and it just dogged me out and just went right to the default one. So the tail number feature does not work with this airplane. Another, it's worth noting. Even with Trent Fox's version, you'll see Trent Fox's tail number, but if you put in your own tail number, it doesn't replace it because they're both on the tail, like you can see right here. They're both right there at the same spot, and normally they would put the right down in this area right here is normally where your own tail number would be. Then this right here would be blank. But in this case, the developer just hard coded the tail numbers and with the two liveries, and that's what you get. So maybe somebody can go in and fix all that up and fix to where the tail numbers would work. The tires are brand new looking, which is fine. I'm not really tripping on that. Another thing that you're going to notice when we get going here, matter of fact, I think I'll jump cut and we'll go over to we'll go over to actually get this in starting mode. So what in turn is I'm just going to jump cut over to the runway and then we'll take off. So I will do that here in just a second. So stand by a second.
Taking off runway 18, departing straight out.
Okay, so here we are. As this thing is trying to do a holographic thing, I'll go ahead and get inside here, and we are now started. Should have just let it do its animation, but oh well. Anyway, so this is what's going on here. So now we're not cold and dark, but we're up here on the runway, and everything is running, and everything is fine on this regard. One thing you will notice when you start this airplane, let me get back inside, is if I just let go, let me go ahead and get my position here. If I let go and I just let this thing go fast, or just let it's got too much forward authority already. You could tell that, let me make ourselves VFR and on, get that out of the way. And hit enter. Okay. If I let it go long enough, it will start to. I'm at idle. I'm at idle right now, and the nose or the tail will start to come up if I go fast enough. If I just let it go fast enough. And so I think the prop is either putting too much air or something else is up with the flight model, causing this to happen. And so. I just got too much air too quickly. Like right now, I'm putting the stick forward here, and I'm just idling. We should not be having that right now. At idle, I should just, I shouldn't be doing that at all. So that's a problem. We'll go ahead and give it 75% power, and let's go ahead and just get in the air. I can't track for crap. Now I'll go full power, and now it should take us off the ground, and then you can hear the sound. So now it is off the ground. And like I said before, it's really distinctive is the fact that you look out the window here and you see everything is all fuzzy. It's just not sharp and crisp. It's about the only descriptive words I can think of. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and over here, and we're going to go around this mountain. Go around this mountain over here, and then we'll come in to land. We'll go ahead and let it climb. It climbs just fine. Everything works fine in that regard. Autopilot works fine. I'm not going to go through the process. There's no point in showing you. I mean, it just works. I mean, it's not a big deal. All the functions that the default glass panel does, it works fine. It's not an issue. It's just got a couple of glaring problems, and for that would be for the $8 price point. I would think the $8 price point, if they're not going to do anything with this aircraft, and so they're only going to spend $9, excuse me, $9, and that's all they're ever going to do, then at least they should do is make it so the windshield is not so is not so fuzzy, and then still retain. I know what the developer could say. Well, so heck, if you don't want it all fuzzy, then I'll just eliminate all the, all the smudges and everything, and you just have a, no windshield at all. Well, we don't want that either. We just want the airplane to be at least a nice representation of what the real world one is. And for the most part, it is. It's just that it just looks like we're in a beta state, or we're at a free airplane level as opposed to a payware. I just don't think this is quite high enough to be considered a enough to be a payware. So that's pretty much. I can't think of anything else that really jumps out at me real quick, because like I said, there's a lot of things. I'm trying to fill time here as we're coming around this mountain, and then we'll go back and land. And we'll look at the scenery for the fuzziness that there is here in South Lake Tahoe. If you wait to buy the airplane later and they do make it a more robust product, then obviously I would think the developer, instead of it being $9, is gonna charge more money for it. Now, if it addresses the issues with giving us better details, such as wing gauges and all the things that a Kitfox has represented in the model, then okay, So that's why I don't want to slam the developer too hard, because I don't know, what their business model is and what their idea was. Was it like I said, they just tried to get this airplane out as quick as they can to get their exposure onto the market? I don't know. I have also too. I did think about getting my money back and try to get a refund, but they don't make it easy for you to get a refund. At least I couldn't see it in the Microsoft Store trying to figure out how to get a refund. So I only spent a cup of coffee, $8 or $9 for a cup of coffee, metaphorically speaking. So I'm just going to let it go. I'll take the $8 hit out of my butt, and that's just the way it is. And that's why I'm doing this video, for you guys to make your own choice if you want to take the $9 hit, if it stays at $9. Because it's definitely not worth any more than the $9, that's for sure. In its current state. If they make it better, if they make it so you can do the cold and dark starts, if they add and make the product a more robust product with more details, more hoses, knobs, switches, dials, being able to turn the fuel, have a fuel selector, being able to turn the fuel on and off, and having mechanical gauges, which I think most of the Kitfoxes do have mechanical gauges. If not, that's all they have is mechanical gauges. They even have a electronic gauge built into the dash, but I could be wrong on that assessment. It's up to the owner's discretion of what they have. Obviously, if I owned a Kitfox, I would have electronic gauge along with a mechanical gauge, so that way you have your backup, because that's what aviation is all about, is you have backups on all your instruments. If one goes bad, you got a second one as a backup, that kind of thing. So anyway, now we're getting over the water here. We're going to come around, and then we're going to land this bad boy. And we'll land at the same airport that we came in. Another thing I should note that I just thought of is that the flaps, you have either flaps up or flaps down. Right now the flaps are up. If I bring them down, now you see the nose pitch, but you don't see any physical flap anything. And so it gives you the action, but nothing is modeled. So there is no flaps modeled, even though it's giving you the characteristics of it. Now you see the ailerons and these are flaperons, by the way. I mean, they are flaps and ailerons both. There's actually been some of these Kitfoxes that actually got slats in the front that come out when you deploy the flaps, just to give you more airflow. Or, I'm sorry, not airflow, but more the ability to be able to catch more air, so then you even have slower speeds. This thing does slow down to about 35 knots or so. So you can come in really low and slow, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that at all. And that's pretty much it. You can see our little lights out there in the distance. You can see the marina there and here in South Lake Tahoe. Like I said, if I was in the X Cub, this would all be crystal clear. It wouldn't be all fuzzy and distorted like it is. So for all I know, the developer is probably aware of these problems that I have been stating here, and maybe is working on a fix. Who knows? I don't know. I just saw it in the store and it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, I'll get it. Hey, it's $9, not a big deal. You know, like I say again, it's a Starbucks coffee. I can make my own. I make my own coffee anyway, so I don't really need to go spend money at Starbucks. Matter of fact, that was a swig of coffee for the working man right there. And let's come around and land this bad boy. It's a little squirrely on landing, which you'll find here in a second. At least for me anyway. Go ahead, get our power down. Pitch trim up. Get our flaps up. Or flaps down, I should say. Slow this sucker way down. I'm going to try to get it down to in the 40s. They get really, really slow. Obviously, if I'm going to choose between the out-of-the-box X Cub or the Savage Cub, and if I had to pay for those instead of getting them, you know, as part of the package that I got when I bought, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator, I would take those two aircraft over this one any day. You know, they're just more flushed out. They're more polished. This is definitely not polished, and that was the key word I was trying to say, or I'm trying to illustrate, is it's just not polished at all. It's rough. But as far as it being able to fly, it flies just fine. Again, to circle back, the autopilot works just fine. I'm not really going to say anything because I don't want to say anything bad about the developer, because I know development time on these airplanes is not something you can just do in 5 minutes and it just works. It's a lot of time. So I know that they had a lot of time involved in making this. I get it. See, now I am at idle, or I've been at idle for quite a while. Now, I do have my flaps out, so I was hoping it would slow it down. But looking at the speed indicator, it doesn't want to slow down. I was trying not to use the brakes. It looks like I'm going to have to use the brakes. The brakes just grabbed right there. You can saw that. There we go. Now we're on the ground. So we are on the ground there. And if I was going to do this like a World War II airplane, go like this and like this. Probably you can't really do that as well. I think this is a two-seater, right? Yeah, it's a two-seater, so can't really do that too well. When you're in the center, like the X Cub, you can get away with things like that. Especially I can go like this on this side. There you go. I can go like this. Anyway, so like I said, let's go ahead and go on over here, and then we will do our final thoughts, and then alrighty. Well, I hope this video helped you in your decision making if you want to buy this airplane or not. For me, like I said, I don't mind being the guinea pig. It was only $9 for the airplane to check it out, and so hopefully this review will make an informed, at least to help make an informed decision on what if it's worth it to you or not. You can go like I do, and that is hopefully you'll get a more robust product over time and with the free updates and everything, if they choose to go that route. And if they don't, if they just make it just strictly a one-shot deal where all we're ever going to get as far as the quality of the aircraft is what you see is what you get, then we all know not to buy from big tire productions ever again. That would be one downside for them going that road, and the fact that I definitely won't buy the X-Plane version for sure. This aircraft is just just not just because of that. If they go down that road, if they offer it for more money, then whatever. Again, to sum up, is it worth the $9? I guess if you wanted a kit, like I did, if you wanted a Kitfox, then yes, it's worth the $9 because now you have it in your inventory or in your hangar, your virtual hangar. If you don't care about a Kitfox, and then obviously you don't want to be spending the money on it in the first place. So it's your own personal decision what you want to do. So we'll just have to wait and see what it does. We'll see how it plays out in the course of time to see if this airplane gets better. We'll see if the community steps up their game and starts making liveries for it, and to make the ability for people start to put their tail numbers on their own Kitfox. That would be nice. But as far as functionality is concerned, as far as getting the thing off the ground, flying around, going to a destination, yes, you can do it even in the current state that it's in. You can do it, but it's just all the things that you would expect in a Payware aircraft are not there. So it'd be kind of cool if they had a float version. That'd be kind of nice. Have a float version of this. That's one thing that, as of this post or as of this video, that one thing that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is lacking is float planes for us to start landing on the water. We only got one, and I don't even, whatever. I'm not a big fan anymore of the of the A5. I can care less about the Icon A5. It's just not my thing. I would rather, if you give me an Icon and you give me an upgraded Turbo Beaver or a Beaver, a Beaver 3 or Beaver 2, I'll take the Beaver 2 any day and Beaver 3 any day over over the Icon any day. But that's my personal preference. But anyway, guys, well, I hope you guys liked this video. Definitely like, subscribe, and if you feel that my content is worthy and I earned your subscription today, then definitely throw a subscribe down there. And I do have some donation links in the description down below that helps offset the costs of all of the stuff that I have to absorb to be able to produce content on this YouTube channel. So that shows me that that you guys care and you guys appreciate what I do. So, and that's all I ask for is just appreciation, more than anything. Definitely like and subscribe more than anything else. Need that algorithm, and maybe comment down below saying, yeah, Dion, you're good, or Dion, you suck. I don't really care, as long as I get some interaction in the comments down below that lets YouTube know that, yeah, this guy's got traction. So we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, you guys take care, and everybody has a great one. This is Dion Soul. Take care, guys. Bye.